Greetings, my fellow Americans. Today, we will be reading the first 2 chapters from the Book of COVID, which is out of the Book of Bullshit Machine, which is available on Amazon right now. Salah. Chapter 1. The Arrival of Pestilence. And in the year 2020, there came upon the earth a pestilence, and the pestilence was novel, which is a word that means new, and also a word that means fiction, and both definitions would prove useful. And the pestilence came from a wet market in Wuhan, from a bat that infected a pangolin that infected a human, in a city that happened to contain a level 4 virology laboratory that was studying bat coronaviruses. And to suggest any connection between the laboratory and the virus was misinformation, until it was plausible, until it was the leading theory, until the people who had been banned for saying it were proven closer to the truth than the people who had banned them. But no apologies were issued. For the machine does not apologize. It updates its narrative and keeps walking. And the World Health Organization declared in January of that year that there was no global evidence of human-to-human transmission. And 2 months later, declared a global pandemic. And no one asked how both of those statements could come from the same organization 60 days apart without someone being fired. Because no one was fired. The machine does not fire. It pivots. Salah. Chapter 2. Concerning the sacred cloth and its mysterious powers. And Fauci, the chief priest of science, went before the people in February of that year and said, "Masks do not work. There is no reason to be walking around with a mask." And in April of that same year, Fauci said, "Wear a mask." And the following year, Fauci said, "Wear 2 masks." And when a man changes his mind once, that is called learning. And when a man changes his mind twice in the opposite directions on the same topic within months, that is called something else. Salah. And it was decreed that the people must wear a mask to enter a restaurant. And the people obeyed. And they wore the mask from door to table, a journey of perhaps 15 feet. And then they sat down and removed the mask, and ate, and drank, and laughed, and breathed, and spoke directly into each other's faces for 90 minutes, unmasked. For the virus, in its great wisdom, could not reach below the altitude of a standing human. The virus respected the seated position. Once thou wert in the chair, thou wert safe. The chair was the vaccine before the vaccine. And nobody in the restaurant heard the absurdity because everyone was doing it. And when everyone is doing it, absurdity becomes etiquette. Salah. And then there were those who wore masks alone in their cars, with the windows up, driving by themselves, breathing their own recycled air through a cloth that had been in their pocket next to their keys and a crumpled receipt from Walgreens. And they felt responsible, and they judged those who did not do likewise. And the machine was pleased. For a person who will wear a mask alone in a car will do almost anything if thou tellest them it is for safety. Salah. And the cloth masks were declared effective. Then they were declared ineffective. Then only the N95 masks were effective. Then it did not matter, for the mandates were dropped. And the people who had screamed at strangers in the grocery stores for wearing the wrong kind of mask quietly put down their masks in a drawer and never spoke of it again. And children were masked in schools for 8 hours a day, but they could remove them for lunch. Sitting 2 feet apart in a cafeteria with 200 other children. For the virus honored the lunch period. Even pestilence respects a union break. Salah. And then there were those who wore masks on video calls in their own homes, alone, talking to a screen, with no other human being in the room. And no one said anything, because saying something would have been insensitive. And there were those who wore masks while swimming in chlorinated water, outdoors, and the lifeguard, presumably, was also masked. In the case the virus could swim. Salah. That'll do it for chapter 1 and 2 from the book of COVID, out of the book of Bullshit Machine. Join me tomorrow, where we will be reading chapter 3 and 4, concerning the sacred distance and the stickers on the floor, and chapter 4, concerning who was essential and who was not. Until then, take these words and hold them in your heart as truth. And do not forget to check out the Book of Bullshit Machine, available on Amazon right now. Have a blessed day.